You can feel it in your chest when it happens. You send one more message, a little longer than the last, and the energy on the other side gets colder, not warmer. Now here is the shift. The hidden secret is not a trick, and it is not a line. It is a posture. It is the ability to stay calm when you want to chase. It is the ability to hold back when your mind screams to push forward. Most men think effort wins. In dating, effort without self-control often loses. And this is where it gets real. A woman may never say it out loud, but the pattern is clear. When a man stays steady, she can relax. When he becomes reactive, she becomes unsure. Not because she is cruel, but because uncertainty is exhausting. She does not want to carry your emotional weight. She wants to feel that you can carry your own. That is the trap. Many men believe attention is the same as connection. They see fast replies, long calls, and big emotion, and they think it means trust. But attention can be cheap. Connection is built on respect, and respect is built on stability. The secret that works across dating patterns is simple. Calm certainty beats loud proving. So look closer. When you meet someone new, you want it to go well. That is normal. But the moment you make it your mission to be chosen, you hand over the steering wheel. You start watching their tone. You start checking your phone too much. You start editing your words like your life depends on it. Here is what most men miss. Attraction is not only about looks. It is about the feeling you create. A grounded man creates a feeling of safety and direction. An approval-seeking man creates a feeling of pressure. One says, without saying it, I will be fine either way. The other says, without saying it, please do not leave. This is why it hurts. You can be a good man and still lose your balance. You can be respectful and still fall into self-abandoning. You start doing more, hoping the extra effort will lock it down. But extra effort does not create respect when it comes from fear. It only tells the other person that your center is fragile. Now connect the dots. The modern world makes this worse. Texting is fast. Social media is loud. Dating apps keep options one swipe away. In that environment, the man who can slow down is rare. The man who can stay steady is dangerous in a good way. Not dangerous to others, but dangerous to his old habits. So the question becomes this. What is the secret? In plain words, it is the skill of restraint with warmth. It is being interested without being needy. It is leading your own life so fully that you do not beg for a role in someone else's life. And the lesson is simple. You do not win by convincing. You win by becoming the kind of man who does not need to convince. That does not mean coldness. That does not mean playing games. It means you speak clearly, you act cleanly, and you do not chase what runs. Now take this seriously. There is a reason this works on almost every woman you will date. It also works on almost every person you will deal with. People trust steadiness. People respect self-control. People lean toward the person who is not trying to force an outcome. Now here is the shift. Stoicism is not about being emotionless. It is about being the boss of your emotions. It is about noticing the surge in your chest, then choosing your next move anyway. Your feelings can ride in the car, but they do not drive. And this is where it gets real. Dating pulls on deep nerves. It touches pride. It touches loneliness. It touches the fear that you are not enough. That is why you can be calm at work, calm at the gym, calm with friends, then suddenly unstable with one person you barely know. That is the trap. You think the feeling is proof. You think your intensity means it is special. But intensity is often the body reacting to uncertainty. You feel a high when attention is given. You feel a crash when attention is removed. And then you try to fix the crash by reaching for more. So look closer. When you double text, it is not because you are evil. It is because you are trying to remove uncertainty. When you explain yourself too much, it is not because you are weak in your morals. It is because you want to control how you are seen. When you ask for reassurance, it is because you want the pain to stop. Here is what most men miss. Confidence is not a feeling. Confidence is a decision you repeat. It is choosing actions you respect, even when your mind begs for relief. The secret is that self-respect is attractive, and self-respect begins in private choices. This is why it hurts. You can feel the moment you abandon yourself. You say yes when you mean no. You stay available when you should be focused. You cancel plans with friends because you might get a call. You become small in your own life. Now connect the dots. A woman may not say, I am watching your self-control, but she is. not like a judge with a clipboard, more like a human sensing the ground under her feet. If your mood rises and falls based on her attention, she feels that instability. So the question becomes this: what does a self-led man do instead? He moves with purpose. He does not rush. He does not punish. He does not chase. He sets a pace that matches his values. He shows interest, then returns to his life. And the lesson is simple. The hidden secret is not silence as a tactic. It is silence as proof of inner order. It is the ability to pause before reacting. It is the ability to let a message sit while you keep living. Now take this seriously. Let us talk about the first modern scenario, because you have lived it. You meet someone, the date feels easy, and there is chemistry. You get home, your mind starts replaying every moment. Your thumb hovers over the keyboard like it is a trigger. Now here is the shift. You send a message that is clean and simple. Something like, "I enjoyed tonight. Get home safe." Then you stop. You do not send another paragraph. You do not add a joke to cover fear. You do not ask if she liked you. You let it breathe. And this is where it gets real. Morning comes. The reply is slow, or short, or both. Your stomach tightens. The old you starts building a courtroom in your mind. Evidence, theories, reasons. You want to fix it. You want to send something clever to bring the warmth back. That is the trap. You think your words can pull someone closer. Sometimes they can, but when the energy drops, more words often push. Not because words are bad, but because the need behind the words is loud. People can feel need even through a screen. So look closer. The correct move is not to pretend you do not care. The correct move is to care without self-abandoning. You let the silence sit, you go to work, you train, you eat, you handle your tasks. You become a man with a full day, not a man waiting for a dot bubble. Here is what most men miss. The point is not to make her wonder. The point is to stop making your peace depend on her response. When you free yourself from that dependence, your energy changes. You become more direct. You become less clingy. And yes, that tends to pull people closer. This is why it hurts. Because it feels like you are doing nothing. It feels like you are losing ground. But you are not losing ground. You are building ground. You are training the part of you that can withstand discomfort without begging for relief. Now connect the dots. If she replies later with warmth, you respond with warmth. If she replies with low effort, you stay polite, and you match reality. You do not start a debate. You do not demand an explanation. You simply keep your standards and keep moving. So the question becomes this: what are standards in real life? Standards are not angry rules. Standards are choices you make when you are calm. Standards are how you behave when attention is inconsistent. Standards are how you treat your time, your sleep, your work, and your health. And the lesson is simple. The secret that works is not pressure. It is non-neediness with clear intent. You are not hiding. You are not performing. You are simply not chasing what is not meeting you. Now take this seriously. Let us talk about the second modern scenario, dating apps. You match. The first day is strong. The messages are fast. The emojis are flying, but you do not need them. The conversation starts to feel like a rush. Now here is the shift. You do not try to win the entire relationship in one night of messages. You do not turn the chat into a therapy session. You keep it light. You set a simple plan, and you step back. You do not keep feeding the fire until it burns out. And this is where it gets real. The next day, the replies slow down. Maybe she views your story and says nothing. Maybe she is online but does not answer you. The old pattern is to increase effort. You send another message, then another, then a funny video, then a question that begs for reassurance. That is the trap. You are trying to control the outcome with volume. But volume is not leadership. Leadership is clarity. You make an invitation. If it is met, you proceed. If it is not met, you do not collapse. You do not lash out. You simply return to your lane. So look closer. A self-led man does not take it as a personal insult. He takes it as information. Interest that cannot hold a simple plan is not interest you can build on. That is not bitterness, that is not contempt. It is just reality. Here is what most men miss. Many women are flooded with messages. Your power is not in being the loudest voice in the room. Your power is in being the calmest signal. A calm signal stands out. A calm signal feels safe. A calm signal does not beg. This is why it hurts. Because you want certainty now. You want to know if you are wanted. But the demand for certainty is often the very thing that makes you less wanted. When you can tolerate not knowing, you become more attractive and more peaceful at the same time. Now connect the dots. You are building a skill that reaches beyond dating. It is the ability to hold tension without spilling it on someone else. It is the ability to handle a maybe without becoming a mess. That is strength. That is maturity. So the question becomes this: what do you do when you see the shift in energy? You do not chase it. You do not punish it. You name your intent, you invite once, then you step back. If the energy returns, you proceed. If it does not, you let it go with dignity. And the lesson is simple. Dignity is not a costume you put on when you win. Dignity is the behavior you choose when you do not get what you want. That is the moment your character shows. Now take this seriously. Let us bring Stoicism into the center. Stoicism is not passive. It is precise. It asks one question that cleans up your whole life. What is in your control and what is not? Your actions are in your control. Your tone is in your control. Your standards are in your control. Now here is the shift. Her mood is not in your control. Her past is not in your control. Her attention span is not in your control. Her options are not in your control. When you try to control what you cannot control, you create anxiety. When you focus on what you can control, you create power. And this is where it gets real. Many men confuse power with dominance. That is not what we are building here. We are building self-command. Self-command is quiet. Self-command is steady. Self-command does not need to win every moment to feel like a man. That is the trap. The ego wants proof. It wants a fast reply. It wants a label. It wants a promise. It wants a sign that you are safe from rejection. But your safety is not in her hands. Your safety is in your ability to stand in your own life. So look closer. When you feel the urge to chase, that is your training moment. That is the moment where you either repeat the old pattern or you build a new one. You do not need to be perfect. You need to be aware. Here is what most men miss. The real test is not her test. The real test is your own. Can you remain kind without begging? Can you remain strong without being harsh? Can you walk away without trying to make her feel guilty? That is the level. This is why it hurts. Because walking away feels like loss. But it is not loss when it saves your self-respect. It is a trade. You trade a short burst of attention for long-term peace. You trade chaos for clarity. Now connect the dots. The hidden secret that works is a man who can say, I want you, but I do not need you to be okay. That energy is rare. That energy is attractive. That energy is also the foundation of a healthy relationship. So the question becomes this: how do you show interest without falling into self-abandoning? You make your intent known. You plan. You follow through. You keep promises. You communicate simply. And you do not over-explain when your dignity is on the line. And the lesson is simple. Over-explaining is often a cover for fear. It is you trying to negotiate your worth. You do not negotiate your worth. You live it. Now take this seriously. Let us talk about the breakup aftermath, because that is where many men lose years. You see her post on social media. You see a photo that makes your chest tight. You want to comment. You want to send a message that shows you are still present. Now here is the shift. You do nothing in the moment. You sit with the feeling. You let it rise and fall. You remember that your mind is trying to pull you into a loop. The loop is familiar. The loop feels like love, but it is often just pain seeking relief. And this is where it gets real. Your phone becomes a weapon against you. Not because the phone is evil, but because it gives you instant access to old wounds. One tap can reopen the whole story. One tap can steal your sleep. One tap can take your pride. That is the trap. You think you are reaching for closure, but you are often reaching for control. Closure is not granted by someone else. Closure is built by your choices when nobody is watching. So look closer. The self-led man does not beg for a final conversation. He does not stalk pages. He does not send late-night paragraphs. He does not make speeches into the void. He returns to basics. Sleep, training, work, friends, skill building, clean food, clean mind. Here is what most men miss. The pain is not a sign to chase. The pain is a sign to grow. It is the furnace. It is the place where you learn to stand alone without becoming bitter. It is where you become the kind of man who can love without losing himself. This is why it hurts. Because growth is slow. Because the mind wants a shortcut. Because the heart wants the old story back. But you are not here to be owned by an old story. You are here to build a new life. Now connect the dots. Once you build that life, your dating life improves as a side effect. You are not desperate. You are not rushing. You are not trying to extract validation from strangers. You are choosing from strength. So the question becomes this: what is the practical strategy that creates this strength? It starts with one skill, the pause. The pause is your shield. The pause is your weapon. The pause is the space where you choose your best self. And the lesson is simple. If you master the pause, you master your outcomes. Not because you control other people, but because you control the only thing that truly decides your future, your behavior. Now take this seriously. Here is the third modern scenario, and it is not even about dating. You are at the gym, you are training, you feel focused, you feel calm, then you check your phone between sets. You see a notification, a like, a view, a message left on read. Your energy shifts in seconds. Now here is the shift. You put the phone away, and you finish the set. You do not reward distraction. You do not train your brain to panic on command. You teach yourself that your mission comes first. That is not coldness. That is priority. And this is where it gets real. The same thing happens at work. You are in the middle of a task. You glance at your phone. You start thinking about what she meant. You start drafting a reply. Your productivity drops. Your mood drops. Your self-respect drops. That is the trap. You are letting someone you barely know steer your day. You are giving away your focus, which is your life. Focus is time. Time is everything. A man who protects his focus becomes powerful without saying a word. So look closer. You do not need to announce boundaries. You live them. You do not need to threaten. You do not need to test. You simply do not abandon your purpose to chase comfort. Here is what most men miss. The secret is not making her chase you. The secret is making yourself worth following. And you do that by following your own standards first. Your body, your money, your skills, your friendships, your peace. This is why it hurts, because it exposes the truth. You were not missing her. You were missing direction. You were not craving her attention. You were craving relief from uncertainty. That is why your mood depended on a reply. Now connect the dots. When you become self-led, your emotional swings reduce. You become more patient. You become more selective. You stop calling anxiety chemistry. You stop calling chaos passion. You start choosing steady. So the question becomes this: what do you say when you want to be clear? You keep it simple. You say what you want once. You invite. You do not plead. You do not beg. You do not argue about basic respect. And the lesson is simple. If someone likes you, they make it easier, not harder. If someone respects you, they meet you halfway. If they cannot, you do not have a villain. You just have a mismatch. Now take this seriously. There is a deeper layer to why this works. Many women have lived through men who said big words and made small choices. Men who promised, then disappeared. Men who pushed fast, then faded. So when a man is calm and consistent, it stands out. Now here is the shift. Consistency does not mean constant access. Consistency means your values do not change with your mood. It means you do what you say. It means you show up on time. It means you treat people with respect. It means you can handle no without turning it into drama. And this is where it gets real. The man who can handle no calmly is rare. Many men act polite until they do not get what they want. Then the mask falls. A woman may never tell you this, but she is watching how you handle disappointment. That is the trap. Some men try to use silence as punishment. That is not strength. That is a control attempt. Real strength is silence used to keep your dignity, not to cause fear. Real strength is stepping back without trying to harm. So look closer. You can be firm and still be respectful. You can say, I enjoyed meeting you. If you want to continue, let us plan something. If not, I wish you well. Then you stop talking. You do not add extra. You do not seek approval for your goodbye. Here is what most men miss. This is not about winning her. This is about winning yourself. If she returns, you have options. If she does not, you still have yourself. That is the only foundation that does not crack. This is why it hurts. Because self-command removes excuses. You cannot blame her for your anxiety. You cannot blame her for your weak habits. You cannot blame her for your lack of direction. You must face yourself. Now connect the dots. When you face yourself, you become dangerous to your old life. Your old life was chasing. Your old life was over-investing. Your old life was living for a reply. The new life is steady effort toward your mission. So the question becomes this: how do you train this in a real, repeatable way? You need a drill, not motivation, not a speech. A drill you can do when your emotions rise, and the lesson is simple. Here is the mental training exercise. Step 1. When you feel the urge to send another message, you stop and breathe slowly 3 times. Step 2. You write 1 sentence on paper about what you are feeling, using plain words. Step 3. You wait 20 minutes before you touch your phone again. Step 4. After 20 minutes you decide if the message is needed, or if it is only anxiety. Step 5. If it is anxiety, you do 1 physical action instead, like a walk, a set of push-ups, or cleaning your space. Now take this seriously. This drill sounds simple, and that is the point. Your mind wants complexity, so it can avoid action. Simple drills build real strength. Over time you will notice something. The urge passes, the story in your head calms down, your dignity stays intact. Now here is the shift. Once you can pause, you can choose a better response. A better response is often shorter. A better response is often slower. A better response does not ask for reassurance. It offers clarity. And this is where it gets real. The man who can pause becomes the man who can lead, not by force, not by pressure, by example. He becomes the emotional anchor. That is attractive. That is also how you protect your own peace. That is the trap. Many men think they need to be more entertaining. They think they need better jokes, better pictures, better lines. Those things can help, but they do not fix the core issue. The core issue is emotional self-control. So look closer. If you want something real, you must be real. You must be willing to lose what is not for you. You must be willing to let a low-effort connection fade. You must be willing to walk away from confusion. Here is what most men miss. Confusion is often a sign. It is a sign that the energy is not aligned. A steady woman does not keep you in fog. A steady man does not stay in fog. Fog is where self-abandoning grows. This is why it hurts. Because fog gives hope. Hope is sweet, but it can become a drug. You keep checking for signs. You keep interpreting small crumbs. You keep waiting for the version of her that showed up on day 1. Now connect the dots. Day 1 energy is easy. Life energy is the truth. The hidden secret that works is to watch patterns, not speeches. Watch consistency. Watch effort. Watch respect. Then choose. So the question becomes this: what is the climax of all of this? It is the moment you realize you were never powerless. You were only untrained. You were only reactive. You were only living without a code. And the lesson is simple. This is the line that cuts through the noise. You have power over your mind, not outside events. That is not a feel-good quote. That is a command. That is a standard. That is the whole game. Now take this seriously. When you live that line, you stop chasing what you cannot control. You stop begging for emotional certainty. You stop trying to force feelings out of another person. You start building a life that you respect, and you invite someone into it. Now here is the shift. You can still date. You can still desire. You can still love. But you do it from a stable base. You do it with standards. You do it with patience. You do it with restraint. You do it with warmth that does not break your spine. And this is where it gets real. The result is not only better dating, the result is a better man. A man who can face silence without panic. A man who can face distance without self-destruction. A man who can face rejection without collapse. That is the trap. Some men hear this and think it means being cold. It does not. It means being clean. Clean intent. Clean actions. Clean boundaries. Clean self-respect. Warm heart. Strong spine. So look closer. The hidden secret is that the strongest signal is a stable life. When your days are full, you are not chasing. When your mission is clear, you are not pleading. When your body is trained, your mind becomes trained too. Here is what most men miss. The woman who is right for you will feel relief around your steadiness. She will not feel like she must manage you. She will not feel like she must rescue you from your moods. She will feel like she can be herself. This is why it hurts. Because it forces you to grow up in the best way. It forces you to stop using attention as medicine. It forces you to stop using romance as an escape from your own life. Now connect the dots. If you apply this, you will notice a new pattern. You will feel fewer spikes. You will feel more calm. You will speak less, but your words will matter more. You will have fewer connections, but better ones. So the question becomes this: are you willing to become that man? Not for a woman, for you. Because you are the one who wakes up in your body every day. You are the one who lives with your choices. And the lesson is simple. Start today with one decision. The next time you feel the urge to chase, pause, breathe, choose dignity. Then act like a man who respects his own time. Now take this seriously. If you want more scripts like this, support the channel. Like the video if it hit you in the gut. Subscribe if you want weekly training for your mind. Comment with one word that describes what you will change this week. Now here is the shift. The world is loud. Your phone is loud. Your emotions can get loud too. But the strongest man in the room is often the quietest one. Because he has nothing to prove and everything to build. This is Stoic Truth, where silence becomes strength.